Hi, welcome to the fourth video in my personal growth series that I hope will help you become more successful in your business. As a business owner myself for many years, I understand the challenges that you face. Today, I'll be sharing with you about taking personal responsibility. So far, my first three videos in this series have been pretty light and easy. But this one will be different. If you take offense easily, then you might want to stop watching right now, because what I'm going to share with you might come across as being a little bit harsh. But in the world of business can be brutal. There's no safety net. It's survival of the fittest. As Jim Collins says in his classic business book, Good to Great, the people that survive in dire circumstances, such as prisoners of war camps, are those who confront the brutal facts. The same could be said about the businesses that survive. If you have a tendency to sugarcoat the facts, or worse still, avoid them entirely, there's a strong chance that they'll come back to bite you. You need to take personal responsibility for your actions and the consequences that flow from those actions. I'm going to give you 3 illustrations to more deeply explain what I mean. The first illustration is deep, literally, because I want to share with you about a memorable visit I made to an underground bunker. Hidden beneath central London, the Cabinet War Rooms were the headquarters from which Prime Minister Winston Churchill and his most senior cabinet ministers and military leaders led the British forces and the nation of Great Britain during World War II. The latest technology of the era was installed in the Cabinet War Rooms, including a top secret direct phone line to President Roosevelt in the USA. In the heart of the bunker was the map room, where the most detailed maps were on hand, and the latest battle situations were plotted to the highest possible degree of accuracy. Most importantly, Churchill insisted on hearing the unvarnished truth from all of his advisors, no matter how bad the news was. This was done so he could make the best informed decisions, and he had to make many, often knowing that his decisions would directly result in many lives being lost. But when he made these decisions, he took responsibility for the consequences. For all his many and well-documented flaws and failings, there is broad consensus amongst historians that this willingness to proactively and responsibly take responsibility for leading his nation through its darkest hour was instrumental in them prevailing in that war. So are you prepared to confront the brutal facts in your business? Sugarcoating is not good for you. My second illustration starts with Action Coach founder Brad Sugars, who asks, is your behaviour above or below the point of power? To live above the point, the keywords to describe your behaviour are ownership, accountable, responsible, or for short. But to live below the point is bed, blame, excuses, denial. Your life above the point is that of a victor. Your life below is that of a victim. I can hear some people saying, that's okay for you to say. You've lived a life of privilege. You haven't had the same disadvantages and struggles that I've had. All of that may well be true, but what are you going to do about it? Are you going to continue living the life of a victim, or are you going to live the life of a victor? You cannot control certain bad external forces that happen. Happens to all of us, or to our businesses. But even though it may be difficult, we can control our response to these external forces. Viktor Frankl discovered this truth living in the extreme circumstances as a Jewish inmate of Nazi concentration camps during World War II. Here are 2 of his most famous revelations from that experience. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Fortunately, we do not need to live through such horrific experiences to benefit from these revelations of Viktor Frankl. When something goes wrong in your business, especially when it's caused by an external force that's beyond your control, how do you choose to respond? My third illustration comes from personal experience. I've seen that Brad Sugar's illustration about victor versus victim, ownership, accountable, responsible, versus blame, excuses, and denial is true. During my decades owning a small media business, I've had the opportunity to interview many business owners and leaders, from the smallest struggling one-man shows through to multi-billion-dollar companies and the CEOs and owners of those companies. I've found a consistent common theme. Those who are continually struggling almost always externalize the reasons. It's the weather, it's the government, it's the economy, it's the unfair competition. The list is long. They blame others and make excuses. And in the end, they might add something like, and if anyone else tells you anything different, they're lying. They can get very passionate about this, but it's classic denial. People like this find it extremely hard to accept that one of their competitors might actually be doing well, despite facing all of the same tough circumstances, exactly the same as the victim is facing. On the other hand, a victor might acknowledge some tough circumstances, but always steers the conversation back to the new ideas they're trying and their strategies to succeed. They're like a beach ball that you try to keep under the water. No matter how hard you push it down, it keeps bobbing up to the surface. I hope you now understand that you only have to keep living, and you're sure to face difficult times and challenges at some stage in your life and in your business. It's not those challenges themselves, but it's how you respond to those challenges that will determine how successful you will be. The first step on that road to success is taking personal responsibility for your current situation. Only then will you truly realize that you can also take responsibility for the future steps you need to take to improve that situation. In the next video in this series, I'm going to grasp another thorny nettle that's often lamented by business owners: how to achieve a healthy work-life balance so you can spend more time with your family. If you'd like to get my future videos as soon as they're posted, then please subscribe to my series. If you've benefited from this video, then please write a review and like this video on the screen below. Please contact me if you'd like a free 1-hour one-on-one business coaching session. I believe that with passion, consistent effort and wise advice, you can succeed in your business. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time.